Today on Throwback Thursday, I have a featured director, but I am going to throw it back to one movie in particular. It's one of these in front of me. So let's get into it. What's up, physical media fans? I have another Throwback Thursday for you, and today I'm focused on, you might have guessed, Peter Jackson. So Peter Jackson has directed quite a few great movies, but I wanted to focus on one in particular, and that is Dead Alive, or Brain Dead is also known as. So this is the laser disc that I have in a frame that is usually just in the upper left of the frame that you are watching. I love the movie. I love the cover artwork. It is one of those movies where I would see it in the video store, and I was very fascinated by this cover art of a woman looking terrified and stretching her lips open, and then there's a small zombie skull with human eyes inside. Of course, I was fascinated as a kid and I wanted to see it, but let me talk you through a little bit of Peter Jackson's early film. So Peter Jackson is now best known for Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit. So I think they're actually quadrilogies, whatever, those epic tales. And he's widely regarded as the first director to do 3 major feature films at one time. So I believe it is Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and Return of the King, right? They didn't split Return of the King into 2, did they? Maybe. They did a similar thing with The Hobbit, so I think that's where I'm getting confused. So The Hobbit, you have An Unexpected Journey, so on and so forth. They split that, one book into 25 movies. And it is lucrative for them, so I understand why it was done. I just would have liked Hobbit to be a little bit tighter. So I don't have those up here. I actually don't own those. Those were personal collection items that I sold 15 years ago or so. It's been a long time. I do love the Lord of the Rings, the books. I love the Hobbit, but I just don't rewatch those Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings / Hobbit films very much. Every once in a while I will, but not enough to keep in my personal collection. What I do have in my personal collection are Peter Jackson's early films. So a lot of folks don't know that Peter Jackson came from the very low budget B schlocky horror gore films that I love. Starting with his first feature, which was this one, Bad Taste. So Bad Taste as some aliens who come to Earth who are harvesting humans for their fast food chain. A little bit of social commentary in there. It is goopy, it's gross. Peter Jackson plays an amazing character in it that has a very iconic head injury that is pretty cool. So I want to talk a little bit about the physical media that I have here. This one is an Anchor Bay release. I don't know if they called it special edition, but it does say Crumbs Crunchy Delights. It came after Lord of the Rings, so it had a very big press printing run. Actually 50,000 for this one. And they are numbered. So mine is number 9,151 out of 50,000. That's a huge run. It's not that big. It's not that rare. It's not that big of a collector's item. But it came in this kind of not quite hard, rigid plastic sleeve, and it's a nice package. And this is, or at least this was the first one I saw before we saw a lot of care being taken with the packaging in like boutique Blu-ray that you have right now from Second Sight, Deaf Crocodile, Vinegar Syndrome does some, Arrow does a ton, so those imprints actually do some amazing packaging and beautiful packaging. And this is the first one that I saw with that stuff. So it has a lenticular cover. I don't know how well you can see the lenticular. It goes from the British / New Zealand 2 fingers up, kind of a rude gesture in those lands, to the middle finger, which is rude gesture in my land. So that's kind of cool. It's got a little booklet that it came with, Crumbs Crunchy Delights. Chatting with the boys, it's got a little interview, some behind the scenes pictures, so on and so forth. That's tucked into this little folder sleeve that has dude on the front there, the beast. It's got some gore, some gross out stuff, and then the 2 discs. So one is special features, and one is the feature film. So this is pretty amazing. It's a great packaging. Anchor Bay did a really good job with this, and that was Jackson's first feature film. Very zero budget, but it is a ton of fun. It's great gross out comedy, horror, sci-fi. Highly recommended. So he followed that up. His next feature film was Meet the Feebles. If you don't know anything about Meet the Feebles, imagine the Muppet Show. So the Muppet Show is not Sesame Street. It is not, the Muppet movies. It's not the Jason Segel reboots. I'm talking the 70s Muppet Show that they tried to bring back a couple times. And I think recently they did. I saw, ads for it with Sabrina Carpenter, but that's the only one. Maybe it was a one-off special. But anyway, the Muppet Show setup is you see some of their variety acts, but you see a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So the Muppets are all like scrambling to get people out on stage or get puppets out on stage and do the next number. And this is a similar setup if it were in a warped, hyper accelerated version of the seediest stories coming out of Hollywood. So there are drug addicts, there are sexual predators, and these are all puppets. And it is gross, it is funny, it is super creative, and very, very early Peter Jackson. So highly recommended. This one isn't a special edition or anything. It says it's from Substance. I got it a very long time ago. In fact, I think I bought it off of Hot Lunch Reselling, who I've mentioned before on this channel, Chris. So that's the next feature from Peter Jackson. And then he followed up with Bad Taste. He followed up with Brain Dead or Dead Alive. The film features a man who is very meek, mama's boy, whose mom at the zoo gets bitten by a Sumatran rat monkey, which is made up for this movie, of course, and she ends up dying, but not for long. She comes back as this gross, weird zombie thing. And then, once she has it, she spreads it to others. And then we have a host of zombies and the undead and lots of gore, lots of gross out. There is a scene with a lawnmower in here that just has more blood and guts in it than any movie I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of blood and guts movies. It is super funny. It's super fun. And Lionel, the son, is a great unexpected hero. Not anti-hero. He's not like, flicking his cigarette and being a bad dude and whatnot. He's just a meek, dorky geek who's trying his best to keep things together and keep this spreading infection under wraps. There's also a preacher character in there that has some amazing lines. It's very quotable. It is very goopy, very gross, and very funny, and a ton of fun. Highly recommended. Highly, highly recommended. Check it out. So we followed that up with Heavenly Creatures, which was the debut of Kate Winslet and Jane. Oh, I can't remember her name offhand, but the two leads who play teenagers who kind of live in their own heads, in their own fantasy world, and there is a murder involved, and so on and so forth. The two leads, that was their debut, and they both made quite a name for themselves since then. And I really apologize. I'll put it in the titles. I'll tell you, or I'll put a little title on the screen to tell you who she is, because I feel terrible for forgetting her name. Then The Frighteners, which is also a ton of fun. It is Michael J. Fox is not a psychic, but he is sensitive to spirits. He can see them and whatnot. Jake Busey is in this. There are a lot of great performances. This version that I have is just the Universal director's cut with a slipcover. When I bought it, it had a sticker on there that I took off, but you can still see some of the residue. But I do love, and it might be very hard to see, the cover actually is embossed. So that skull is a little bit three-dimensional. So it's embossed. Maybe you can see that. And then followed up with Lord of the Rings, all those movies. I believe King Kong was between all the Lords of the Rings and then The Hobbit, and now he seems to be obsessed with the past, whether it be World War II, World War I, or the Beatles, which the last several things on his IMDb are all Beatles related. I am not a Beatles fan, so I did not watch any of those, but I did see King Kong. I saw all of his Lord of the Rings related movies and love them, but these are my favorites. I like Heavenly Creatures, just not enough to own it. It's not something that I need to watch over and over again. But these are all super fun. They're very funny. They have some great gore and goopy humor, these, and then this one has some good frights, some good scares in it. It's not super scary. It's not going to be terrifying. It's more, on the comedy side of the horror, but it is comedy horror or horror comedy. Jake Busey plays a serial killer in that who is back from the dead, and he is great in that role. Very creepy, very much a zealot in what he's doing. So that's it. Peter Jackson is amazing. He is a great director, and he got his start with the schlocky B movies that I love to watch and rewatch. Thanks for watching this far. If you want to like and subscribe, I would appreciate it quite a bit. But if you don't, that's okay too. You will see me the next time I post. Thanks.